What is up, guys? Welcome to the OneMag podcast. It is Nickgottats and your boy,
Kiss.
the best fucking podcast in the fucking land.
Part of the greatest podcast, which is Animag.
According to
It's
the
Asylum
Smash,
himself.
the Smash tournament, we got our ass walked in at
Oh,
Anime Matsuri.
Yeah. Let's not talk about that.
But we're back, episode fucking 3. Man, you might be wondering why we're in the same fucking clothes as episode 2. That's because we shot this one right after, because we trying to give y'all boys.
Yeah, we're trying to catch up to where we are.
Back episodes.
We're trying to catch up to where we are, so we don't get confused with the episodes.
Yeah, because we're getting kind of little. We try to go, like, I'm in my mind thinking, oh, let's talk about this, but that's the next episode.
So I think for future, we're gonna just watch one episode, do the notes, and everything, and then hit it probably the next day.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing. So we begin off this episode where we left off, and we learned that Zoro uses a sword style called, now,
we might butcher the name.
Butcher the fucking name. Centauri? I think
Centauri?
That's Centauri. Which is a 3 sword style, which helps us learn that, that's why there was 3 swords in the room, because those are all Zoro's.
Because he uses 3 sword style.
And we learned this because he says it.
And then after that, we see Captain Morgan freak out. He's like, oh, this guy must have eaten the devil fruit. Which he basically goes on about it, which there's like more devil fruit users. Like ones that let people breathe fire and ones that create tsunamis. Which I actually love that because it's like... It's foreshadowing.
It's foreshadowing maybe the future crewmates of
maybe, but we already
Luffy's
know.
crew.
We already know
or
who they talk.
Well,
who he's
we know
talking about.
About fire, but we're not gonna. We this is our first time watching this.
Yes.
This is our first time watching this. Don't go too ahead of yourself. But so we go into like I guess like a little battle scene basically.
It's like before the battle scene, cause like Captain Morgan is just like saying his shit.
No, that's not yet. That's not yet when he said. So like he tells his men to charge, and like none of them like, cause he's like, if guns won't work, we're gonna stab him or use swords or whatever. How he says it, and then fucking Zoro. That's when Zoro breaks free, and he says his sword style. And they realize, well, this might be a little bit off, but this is what happens. And they're all, like, freaked out.
But, like...
And he's like...
Because I could have sworn that, like, whenever Morgan's because Luffy is, like, he doesn't give a fuck. Because he's just, like... He turns to Morgan and he says, nice to meet you. And then Luffy tries untying but it's only getting tighter. He's making it worse. And then that's when Zoro's like, okay, just give me one of my swords. Because, like, they're charging. Like you said, guns won't work, swords will. So they start charging at him. And then Luffy gives Zoro one of his swords. And then Zoro breaks out. And then he uses one of his, we get a demonstration of his 3 sword style.
Yeah.
Blocking all the attacks. And Zoro's like, you make one single move...
Not cut you down or whatever. So that's how it went. Yeah, I had the timeline a little messed up, but I hit all the key points.
Mm-hmm.
And
then Captain Morgan,
Captain Morgan tells them if they will not charge, you might as well put a gun to your head and shoot yourself.
Which, what the fuck?
Being a fucking dick.
But like
your own soldiers.
But while they're talking, this is where Zoro decides to join Luffy's crew.
Yeah, because he realized he has, like, no choice, basically. I mean, it's either die here or...
Die here. Because even though he escapes, he's gonna be still a wanted man.
And then, I think, So Zoro basically tells, um,
his dreams.
His dream that is to become the world's greatest swordsman. And like, Luffy states that, oh, I wouldn't rather have the best on my team. Like, I want the best on my crew.
Yeah. And then that's when Luffy tells Zoro to duck, and Zoro's just like, huh? And then that's when we see Gum Gum Axe.
Yeah, Gum Gum X-Men kicks the fuck out of them.
Or was it Gum Gum? Yeah, Gum Gum Whip. My bad.
Gum Gum Whip kicks the fuck out of them people. And then we go into the scene where Captain Morgan's like, do you know who I am? And like, he gives this answer, and Luffy basically does not give a fuck. This part made me fucking laugh my ass off. He's like, I'm Luffy. I'm Monkey D. Luffy. Nice to meet you. Like, and so like, they go into this battle scene. Luffy hits Captain Morgan. And then I feel like this episode's moving quick. Is there anything in between where Luffy, Himippo got the gun on,
it's like, because like, it's only when Himippo pulls out the gun and Luffy just does not give a fuck and keeps on beating Morgan. But then that's when Zoro tells him, like, hey, like, look. And then that's when Himippo's like,
well,
if you don't stop. And then Kobe is just like, I'm not afraid to die. And then that's when Luffy hits him with a Gum Gum pistol for the second time in the fucking face. And then
Captain
Morgan tries
to hit,
which maybe a centimeter off of Luffy's head.
and then fucking Zoro just cuts him.
Definitely cuts
him. And I guess kills him?
No, he doesn't kill him. He just knocks him out.
So he knocks him out, and dude, I thought this would be, like I was saying last episode, man, I thought this would be a fucking, maybe a challenge, but they fucking just, like, beat him in another one-shot fight, basically.
Yeah.
And then they, like, I think it goes fast forward to the restaurant again. Right?
No, because, like, after they beat him, I think Zoro is like, okay, who's next? And then all of a sudden, the Marines start jumping for joy, tossing their guns up, and then they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they're like, why the fuck are y'all happy your captain just fucking got
because
smacked?
They don't have to deal with Captain Morgan's bullshit. But back in the Marine base, we see Orange Hair Bandit Girl.
Yes, we actually do see Orange Hair Bandit Girl.
And come to find out, she was looking for a map of the Grand Line. Come to find out, it was stolen already by a pirate called Buggy the Clown.
Yeah, Buggy the fucking clown.
Maybe this one will not die in one fucking hit.
Yeah, because I mean, they introduced him, so I guess you think he's gonna be another enemy of.
But here we go again. In the manga, still nothing about this girl. Still nothing.
They still have nothing about the orange hair girl in the manga?
Nothing.
That's crazy. So,
now it's back at the restaurant.
Now we fast forward to the restaurant, and they're like eating food and shit, and Zoro's like fucking pounding down food, and he's like, oh, I'm full, I haven't ate for like weeks. And then Luffy's like, that's all you got? Like, fucking Luffy's still munching down food. Which, like, and Luffy has ate in the past couple of days, like, which, like, and Zoro hasn't, so we could tell that Luffy has more of an appetite than fucking Zoro.
And then Zoro finds out that he's the only one on his crew, and he's like, oh, do you have a ship? And then Luffy's like, yeah. And it's just like a 10-foot fucking ship. And like Zoro's seeing this, and we just see a fucking dog just like go up to it and just piss on it.
Yeah, and then Zoro finds out that he's the only member because of he was like, oh, where'd your other crewmates or whatever? And he's like, well, this thing kind of just started, so.
Oh yeah.
You're the only crewmate.
I just started gathering.
Gathering my crewmates and stuff, so we figure out that he's the only, like, there's nobody else. And then that's when we find out about the ship. He was like, please tell me you got a ship. And then that's when the part Tomicus was talking about where
the dog just fucking pisses on it. Basically telling Luffy and Zoro that your fucking ship looks like shit. A good pissing spot, maybe.
Good fucking pissing spot. I like how it zooms into it.
Okay, then we get info on the Grand Line, which is a massive landmass that crosses the land called the Red Line. Which we also learned that the former king of the pirates, Goldie Rogers, said he left all his treasure in the Grand Line.
In one piece.
Which is called basically the One Piece, because you learned that from the introduction.
Yeah, when the introduction, that hard ass introduction. And then I'm trying to think what happened next.
Like, what happens next is that Luffy tells Kobe even if they have to part ways, that they will still be friends. But meanwhile, the Marines come in the restaurant and tell Luffy, since they are pirates, that they have to go and that they will get them, like, they have to make them leave due to the fact
they're pirates and that's a Marine base, but as a favor,
they will not report them
to
the Marine. I guess we're gonna have to deal with more Marines later on,
like the headquarters or whatever.
Yeah,
they will not report them to headquarters, so they would just let them go by free. And so Luffy's just like, all right, whatever. Like, they leave, and then the Marine
is just like, hey, you're forgetting one. What about this one? And then Luffy's like, I think, that's whenever Luffy's just like, oh, he's not part of this squirt. Mm-hmm. You should have hear what he was doing before for the past 2 years. And then like he goes on about.
Let me rephrase on this so we could have a little bit more info for the podcast runs a little bit longer, since this episode did not have like much information. But so like Kobe's like, man, Luffy, please don't bring up this stuff about Alvida once he says something about, let me tell you what he's been doing for the past 2 years. Because, like, he knows if, like, they find out he was a part of Alvida's pirate crew, they're just gonna basically arrest him instead of, like, he knows there's no way he would be able to join the Marines.
The Marines, yeah.
So, like, he's like, Luffy, please don't, basically in his head. And then that's when Luffy starts saying, oh, he was Alvida's dick boy.
Bitch
boy, all that shit.
And that's when Kobe just fucking
rocks Luffy, and Luffy's like, that was a bad choice.
Bitch, what the fuck you just
And he just literally starts beating.
Like, we see the shadows, and we see Luffy just...
And then, like, Zoro comes up, and he's like, that's enough, and he grabs Luffy, and then all of a sudden
you see Bitch Boy Kobe, like,
fall to the ground, and they walk out. And then Kobe, like, I mean, he's not knocked out, he just couldn't, I mean...
Yeah, he's just like...
He's very dazed, he couldn't stand up because of what Luffy was doing to him. And, so, Kobe figures out, oh, he didn't do this to hurt him. Like, he did this to prove that he's not a part of their pirate crew or anything like this. Because the Marine was like, that's enough. Like, we could definitely tell this dude ain't a part of your pirate crew.
Mm-hmm.
And,
so they leave. And
then
Kobe's like, sir, I want to join the Marines.
Yeah, like, he stands up, says he wants to join the Marines.
But then, like, not the
new head.
I don't know if he's going to become the captain or what, but, like, I guess the Marine on the side of him was like, like, before we can do anything, we have to do a background check on him, just to make sure that he's not, like, he doesn't have Like
Like,
he's not a spy.
He's not a
for
spy
pirate.
because they were talking about how they've been having many spies pop up.
Yeah.
And so then we cut to. No, we don't cut nowhere.
No, Kobe's like,
Yes, sir.
I'm a Marine. How did he say it? He's a Marine, and nothing will change his mind. Something like once a Marine, always a Marine.
Yeah.
And then that's when I guess the head captain of the Marines, which we don't know, goes on and says, "Permission granted," because he's seen how dedicated he is.
Well, no, he
becoming a
don't
Marine.
say permission granted right away. He gives him like the little talk.
Oh yeah, the little talk about all of our Marines die in battle.
No, some Marines die in battle.
Some Marines die in battle.
Not all of
Holy
them.
shit.
They would still be fighting. They would be dead.
They'd be dead.
So, and then like he sees that Kobe like actually still got the motivation to join, so he's like, permission to join the Marines.
Permission granted.
Yeah. And so then we see a cut to Luffy and Zoro leaving.
Leaving the Marine base.
Leaving the Marine base. And then...
Well, no. Marine base island, my bad.
Yeah, the Marine base island. Well, it's a Marine base, so they leaving the Marine base.
Yeah.
So they leave that, and like, so Kobe and
the little girl her
were like, "Thank you for everything." And then the Marines come up.
Yes, and they were like, "Man, salute!"
So they saluted him, and they were like, so I guess since they saluted a pirate or whatever, they have a punishment because they like assisted pirates or whatever. In the anime, the
punishment
is 3 days.
3 days
not
without
eating.
food.
What is the punishment in the manga?
1 week in the manga without food.
I wouldn't be able to survive
I
a day without food. So
those motherfuckers hid some food or hide away.
I'd be quitting the Marines real quick. Anything else happened in this episode?
Let me check on our,
our trusty fucking notes.
On our trusty notes. Oh yes, it ends off, but before that, while leaving the island. let me read what the notes say exactly so I don't butcher it. We learned that there is a promise to Luffy's Straw Hat, and the promise he made to someone that he is going to be a great pirate.
Yeah.
So I guess we're gonna be learning more about that in the next episode. But the outro rolls when Luffy says, "Let's sail for the Grand Line."
So I mean they're gonna go to the fucking pirates graveyard, fucking with
the piss ass boat and them two. Like they do make a great team.
Do you think they could stand up to the fucking strongest pirates or?
Well,
Right
Vito
now.
was supposed to be the strongest pirate. Dies the one. I mean, Hit gets fucking defeated in one punch. Captain Morgan was feared, and he was a Marine captain.
Yeah, I mean,
Gets knocked out by Zoro's three
might be
swords.
just like One Punch Man.
One punch.
So, in all, what did you think about this episode?
I actually liked it because there's no more bitch boy Kobe now. Like, well, they done lost their navigator.
Yeah, I don't know how they about to say. I mean, but Zoro has to. He was a fucking bounty hunter. I mean, he has to know.
Like a pirate hunter, yeah. If he was a pirate hunter, he would have some kind of navigations. But I guess we're gonna learn more on that for next episode, and maybe about the Straw Hat and the promise that he got.
Yeah, maybe so.
But like for right now, I just say the enemy, like the big bosses, are just too easy.
Yeah, they're leading up to like a big fight, and then just like a disappointment, kind of.
But hopefully which I think the next one will be Buggy the Clown.
Well, yeah, because I mean, it kind of teased Buggy the Clown in the anime. Did it say anything about Buggy in the manga?
In the manga, I don't think so. No, because there was no mention of the orange hair girl.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, because
I think they get first introduced. I don't know if it's next episode or the next episode. Well, I'll get more into detail about that.
To that episode, but I mean, you said what you think about this episode. So, what's your final review type?
I would say a 7.
Yeah, last episode I said in between a 7 and 8, and I'm leaning more to the 7 side of this.
It was still a good episode.
I mean, it's a great episode because I mean a 7 is still pretty good. I mean 7 out of 10, and it was fucking. I mean, you get to see Zoro actually battle, and you learn a little bit more about Zoro. And I mean, not every episode is gonna be a fucking banger, boys.
Yeah, not every episode is gonna be a fucking banger.
When you have a 1,000 episode anime, I mean, not every episode is gonna be a fucking banger.
Yeah, there might be some animes that have like 300 or something episodes. Not gonna point any fingers out. Naruto, and it's just straight filler. No, Boruto, straight filler.
Yeah, I never watched Boruto.
Yeah, don't watch it. Sorry, Naruto fans. I was once a Naruto fan, but once you start watching One Piece, you're a One Piece fan.
You're a One Piece fan, and that's all you are. We didn't have no Alti this episode.
Yeah, ran out.
We just drunk it.
But anyway,
episode.
Code you know what code to use for 10% off.
And hopefully you guys enjoy this episode. And so long.
Sayonara.
For listening, be sure to visit our website at www.animag.org. See you next time.